بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum students, how are you? I am Sarasha, I am your physics teacher. Today I will continue the chapter 1. My topic is error. Error, the difference between measured value and actual value. What is the measured value and actual value is that, for example, the length of the room is 10 meter, but we measure either greater measurement or lesser measurement. For example, the actual measurement of the length of the room is 10 meter, but we measure either 9 meter or 11 meter. This is not the actual length of the room. This is the error. So error arises due to the experimental instruments or due to both of them. That's why we have divided the error into three categories. First is called person error, second is called systematic error, and third is called random error. Personal error is that, for example, our experimenter wants a desirable value. It's not he ignores the actual value. He wants a desirable value. For example, suppose that the melting point of the wax is 56 centigrade, but he wants a desirable value, for example 60 centigrade. So it means that he ignored the actual value and he wants that he pay attention on he take the reading according to his desire. This kind of reading is called, this kind of error is called personal error. Personal error can be avoided by personal error can be removed by avoiding the bias. Bias means when the experimenter are performing the experiment or taking the observation, he must be neutral. Now second, systematic error. Systematic error depends on the instrument. If the instrument is faulty, then the reading, whatever reading or water value you measure is wrong. Suppose that the vernier caliper is an instrument. Is there any fault in the vernier caliper? So by the vernier caliper, whatever reading, whatever measurement you do, it will be wrong. It will be error in the reading. It is not the actual. It is not the actual reading. This kind of error is called zero error. Zero error. There are two kind of zero error: positive error and negative zero error. Zero error can be overcome by zero error correction. Now third is random error. Random error is due to the external condition. It means that it depends on the external conditions. It is beyond the at some time it is beyond the control of the experimenter. Suppose that the experimenter performing an experiment, the temperature is changing, or maybe voltage is changing, or humidity level is changing. These things affect on the experiment, and by the experiment whatever value we measure, it will be wrong. So this kind of error depends on the external condition of the lab. Not, it doesn't depend on the experimenter, and it does not depend on the instruments. So this kind of error can be minimized by maintaining the condition, the certain conditions of the lab. Now this is three kinds of error I have told you. Now I'm talking about the contribution of the Muslim scientists. In Abbasid era, the Baghdad is a very famous place. It was the center of the knowledge. Many scholars in that time who contributed a lot in different field of science, physics, chemistry, biology. Some of the prominent scientists who contributed a lot, I'm gonna give you brief introduction and their contribution. First of all, one of the most famous Muslim scientists is Abu Ali Hassan ibn al-Haytham. Abu Ali Hassan ibn al-Haytham. His date of birth is 1965 and date of death is 1039. He contributed a lot in that era. He was a great scholar of physics, mathematics, engineering, astronomy and medicine. He contributed a lot in these fields, and major basic theories of the mathematics he introduced in the world. His work on optics, his book on optics, Kitab al-Manazir, gained great reputation among scholars. It means that optics means by the study of the lenses. He wrote a lot about the plane mirror and lenses. Further you will study the lenses and the plane mirror, you will study more. So he studied a lot in this. He wrote a lot in his book Kitab al-Manazir and contributed a lot in this field. He gave formal definition of ray of light. Ray of light, before the Muslim era, before the contribution of Ibn al-Haytham, there is no any proper definition of the light. He gave the proper formal definition of ray of light. Light travels in a straight line. He gave this idea. He invented a pinhole camera. First time in the history of the human being, he invented the pinhole camera. With this camera, he took the image of sun eclipse, which at that time it was impossible to take the image of the sun eclipse. He gave 2 laws of reflection and carried out research on the formation of image by spherical mirror. He gave the laws of reflection. Reflection means light. When light strikes on the medium, it comes back. This is called the reflection. He gave the idea of reflection, and he studied the spherical mirror and gave the information on phenomena related to the spherical mirror. Second very prominent scientist is Yaqub al-Kindi. He is also very famous scientist of that era, Yaqub ibn Ishaq al-Kindi. His date of birth is 800 and date of death is 873 AD. He is also very prominent scientist of that era. He contributed a lot. He produced several research monographs on metrography, specific gravity and on tide. First time he introduced the research related to the tide. His most important work was in sound and optics. Before his research, there is no any theory, there is no law about the sound and the optics. He explained musical notes on scientific ground. It means that people don't know why when the music when they listen, they used to listen the music. What is the notes? What is the frequency? He also developed the method to express the notes in terms of frequencies. He worked on geometrical optics, which was translated in Latin language. His work, he contributed a lot in geometrical optics, and his valuable work is translated into the Latin language. And third scientist of this era is Abu Rehan Muhammad bin Ahmad al-Biruni. He is the third scientist of this era, very prominent scientist. Abu Rehan Muhammad bin Ahmad al-Biruni. He wrote more than 150 books on various subjects. He contributed a lot in that era. He in many subjects, in several subjects, he wrote many books. He measured the circumference of the earth. It was not possible to measure the circumference of the earth because there was no any technology at that time. But he measured the circumference in that era. He discussed the movement of the sun and the moon, the phases of the moon, and also the movement of the planets. In the past time, people had misconception about the moon, about the sun. They thought that the sun revolved. They thought that sun revolved around the earth. He corrected the idea, corrected the concept. Sun is not moving earth. Earth is moving around the sun. He also gave the concept of the phases of moon. Sometimes it's very thin, sometimes it has a full face, and sometimes is a very thick. Sometimes it is thick. He gave the method of determining the longitude and latitude of the place. He gave the idea of the longitude and latitude. Or longitude and latitude, you can find out the place of the world anywhere. In front of you, I gave the brief detail about the contribution of these prominent scientists. I hope you will get you got all my lecture. Your homework is available on the web portal. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.